So far with our river stuff, we've been practicing how to measure all this information, but we haven't talked about why or what this data means and how it applies to river health. So that's where we're getting started here. So this is our river background, thinking about all the factors we're measuring and how those factors impact the health of a river. So thinking about, do we want them to be higher or lower values? How do they get higher? How do they get lower? What kind of things, naturally or human induced, impact these? So we're thinking about transparency, stream flow, dissolved oxygen, and also nitrates, actually. So those are all the things that you're collecting data on at the river. And so we want to be thinking about all those things in our post-lab assessment. So there's 4 sections in here. You can kind of see as I scroll through, we got these color-coded. There's our stream flow, that's blue. Here's dissolved oxygen. And then last but not least, nitrates. Now these aren't something that we are going to measure at the river, but we're going to get this data from the honors classes that go for a longer period of time. So they have time to collect that nitrates for us. So we're starting now at transparency, but all of these are identical. They all start out with the same instructions. So as you're reading through, when we come to the definition of transparency, we're going to give it a star. When we're coming by something we're not sure about or we don't understand, we're wondering about further, we'll put a question mark. Things that can change transparency, so make our factor increase or decrease, we're going to circle up. And then underline things about the health. So if it's saying this factor increases it to make it a negative impact, that's something we would underline. Or a positive, good health, we would underline. And you can always throw in like a positive or a negative as you're going with those underlines as well. So with this assignment, I'm looking for 2 things. One, that your reading, which is short right here, is marked up with those symbols, as well as your questions are answered. And everything to answer these is coming right from the reading. So if you miss something, just circle back, okay? Each one of these is going to be assigned differently for each class depending on when you're at the river. So just stay tuned on Schoology and our weekly calendar and on the board in class to make sure you know when you're completing what. So for starters, you're just working through transparency. As always, reach out with any questions you have.